Hey everyone, I decided to do a tool review today. This is my trusty Leatherman. I'm surprised I haven't done a review of this already. It's been by my side since I was about 15 years old. So it's been on my hip for almost 10 years. This is my second Leatherman, as a side note. The first one was identical, but it broke. And I went online. I was going to buy a new one, and I said to myself, you know what? Let me take a look at Leatherman's return policy or warranty policy. They have a lifetime warranty. Didn't need a receipt or anything, so I sent it in for about $5 of shipping. And after a week or two or three, they sent me back a brand new one, identical. It's a very good customer service, and they stand behind their product. This is my Leatherman I've carried for all these years. It's a Leatherman Blast. Very good quality. I'm very happy with it. It's a good selection of tools. It's a good balance between compact and having a multitude of tools. There's two different kinds of Leathermans as far as I can tell. There's the kinds where you can open the tools like the knives and such out from the outside, or where you have to open them up like this one and access the tools from the inside. I don't have much of a preference. With this style, you have these sharper edges here that dig into your hand when you grip the pliers. But I'm never really gripping anything too hard, and if it hurts your hand, well, just deal with it, because you're only going to deal with it for a second. It does have these plastic inserts here, so it softens the grip a little bit for your hand. The thing that broke on my first Leatherman was the pivot here for the tool lock. That pin broke off, and they replaced the entire Leatherman. Gave me a brand new one. And this Leatherman has broken in a couple places. The screwdriver tip that broke off, so I reground it. And I don't remember how I did this, but I was probably doing something stupid. Broke the tip off the knife. Again, not a big deal. I only use this knife for junky can cutting sort of stuff, so it doesn't really bother me. But this particular tool, it's a Leatherman Blast. It has your standard needle nose pliers, wire cutters, wire strippers. Over the years, I've had this particular pair for maybe 4 or 5 years. But you see if you can see, the pivot is a little wobbly. So the result of that is when you're trying to cut something with the wire cutters, the two cutting edges, instead of shearing like that, they do that. And some wire will get stuck between the cutter instead of actually cutting. But it's not a big deal. And there's also wire strippers there, which work fairly well for what they are. This particular model has a knife, 2 flathead screwdrivers. It has an eyeglass screwdriver, which is now non-existent because the design was the little screwdriver insert went in that hole and it got retained by that spring. But the spring must have gotten weak and it fell out. Luckily I don't really use it, but that's a design flaw. This saw merits mentioning, special mentioning. It is an awesome saw. It is extremely sharp. It's very well made, very well cut and ground, and the edge is ground, or the blade is ground such that the edge is thicker than the spine. You can kind of see how it's thicker over here than it is over here. That's because the spine is ground thinner, so when you cut, the kerf is the width of the edge, and then the rest of the blade doesn't bind. Very, very well done. Good design, sharp, cuts through anything. On the other side, we got a file, single and double cut file. Nothing special there, but it does work well. Can opener, bottle opener. This also comes in handy a lot, especially when you're at a party and no one can find the can opener or the bottle opener. Flathead Phillips screwdriver. Nothing to mention there. Just it works. It works fine. The other thing that merits mentioning are these wonderful scissors. I never thought that I would ever use the scissors on a Leatherman, but I do, and I do use them quite frequently. Like the joint here on the pliers, these scissors have gotten wobbly, which does impair their functionality a little bit, but they still do work very well. They're very sharp, they're very nimble, and they work great for cutting out gaskets for my engines and other various jobs. Great for gaskets, and also, you know, whatever else, thread, paper, cutting out an ad. But they're very well made, and I never would have expected to need or want scissors on a Leatherman. But if I were ever buy a different Leatherman than this one, I would make sure it had scissors, and I would probably make sure it had the saw. And that about covers it. I could talk more about each individual tool, but you know, a flathead screwdriver is a flathead screwdriver. It served me well for many years. It's relatively compact, it's relatively light. It's a great thing to have on your belt. This sticks out from your belt a little bit. It gets caught on things sometimes. I've just gotten used to it. Or if I'm crawling underneath a truck, sometimes it gets in the way. But again, I'm just used to it. It's not a big deal. Its utility far outweighs any impedance you have on moving around. I carry it with me every day. I use it almost every day, if not multiple times a day. Even if I don't go out into my shop here, I still use it. It always has a use. In the home, at work, in my garage. It's a very good buy. Well, I got this for a gift, like I said, when I was about 15 or so, but this particular Leatherman I think is about $70, and it's well worth it. And so that's it. Oh, I don't know if I already mentioned, but I did have to replace this snap because the snap became kind of unsnappy, and this would keep popping off on its own, so I replaced the snap. But this case is going on 10 years old. I could probably buy a new one, but it won't have this nice patina. So anyway, guys, that's it. If you have a question or comment, be sure to leave it down below. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't think I've ever really done a tool review, so this is my first of hopefully many more tool reviews. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, come back for more.